The biggest mistake most people make is believing their life is controlled by what happens around them, when the truth is that it's controlled by what happens inside their own mind. Think about that for a second. Two people can face the exact same setback, yet one walks away stronger, while the other gives up completely. So what creates the difference? It's not talent, it's not luck, and it's definitely not intelligence. There's an invisible force shaping every decision you make, every opportunity you miss, every relationship you build, and every dollar you earn, and most people don't even realize it's controlling them every single day. In the next few minutes, you'll uncover the hidden mental patterns that quietly sabotage success before it even has a chance to grow, and more importantly, you'll learn how to break free from them. But here's the catch. The deeper we go, the more uncomfortable the truth becomes, because the greatest obstacle standing in your way may not be your job, your past, or other people. It may be the story your own mind keeps repeating. And what happens in the final chapter changes everything. That's where the most powerful lesson of this entire journey comes together, revealing one mindset shift that can completely transform the way you handle pressure, fear, failure, money, and every major decision you make from this day forward. Miss that final lesson, and you'll only see half the picture. So stay with me until the very end, because every chapter builds on the last, and each one unlocks a deeper piece of the puzzle. If this journey challenges the way you think, let me know in the comments which idea hits you the hardest. Share this video with someone who's ready to take control of their life, and subscribe so you never miss the next lesson that could change the way you see yourself forever. Now let's begin where every transformation truly starts, the battle inside your own mind. Chapter 1. The invisible battle between your thoughts and your future. Long before your future is built, it is imagined. And long before it is imagined, it is shaped by a conversation that never stops, the one happening inside your own mind. Most people think they're reacting to the world. They believe their stress comes from difficult people, unexpected failures, or bad luck. But what if the real battle isn't happening out there? What if it's happening inside you, every single second without you even noticing? Every day your mind receives thousands of thoughts. Some push you forward, others quietly pull you backward. The dangerous part is that your brain doesn't automatically separate truth from fear. If you repeat a thought often enough, it begins to feel real. And once it feels real, it starts directing your choices. That's why two people can stand at the exact same crossroads and walk toward completely different futures. One sees opportunity, the other sees danger. The road never changed, only the mind did. Think about the moments when you almost chased a dream but stopped yourself. Maybe you wanted to start a business, ask someone out, change careers, or speak up in a room full of people. Before anyone else could reject you, your own mind whispered, "You're not ready." That single thought felt small, but it changed everything. Because every action begins as a belief, and every belief eventually becomes a habit. Over time, those habits create the life you call reality. Here's the hidden truth that most people never realize. Your mind is always searching for evidence to prove itself right. If you believe you're capable, you'll notice opportunities. If you believe you'll fail, you'll notice obstacles. The world hasn't changed. Your focus has. And whatever your focus finds, your emotions strengthen. Then those emotions influence your decisions, and those decisions slowly become your future. This is why real transformation never begins with changing your circumstances. It begins by questioning the stories you've accepted without evidence. Ask yourself one simple question. How many limits in your life are facts, and how many are just old thoughts you've repeated for years? That question makes people uncomfortable because it forces them to face something powerful. The prison isn't always built with walls. Sometimes it's built with beliefs. The moment you recognize that, something incredible happens. You stop seeing yourself as a victim of life, and you begin seeing yourself as the author of what's coming next. But awareness alone isn't enough. Knowing your thoughts influence your future doesn't explain why you still make decisions you later regret. It doesn't explain why intelligent people sabotage themselves, why confidence disappears under pressure, or why emotions can overpower logic in an instant. To uncover that answer, we have to go deeper into the invisible force that quietly controls your choices before your conscious mind even realizes what's happening. Chapter 2. Why your emotions keep sabotaging the life you want. If thoughts shape your future, then emotions decide whether those thoughts ever become reality. This is where most people lose the battle. They don't fail because they lack intelligence. They don't fail because they don't know what to do. They fail because in the moments that matter most, emotion quietly takes control before reason has a chance to speak. Have you ever promised yourself you would stay calm, only to explode in anger? Have you ever sworn you would stop procrastinating, only to waste another day? Have you ever known the right decision, but still chosen the wrong one? That isn't weakness. It's something far deeper. Your brain is designed to protect you, not to make you successful. It constantly scans for danger, uncertainty, and anything that feels unfamiliar. The problem is that it can't always tell the difference between real threats and imagined ones. To your mind, speaking in front of a crowd can feel as dangerous as standing on the edge of a cliff. Starting a business can feel like stepping into a storm. Having an honest conversation can feel like walking into a fight. So what does your brain do? It sends a powerful emotional signal: fear, doubt, anxiety. Not because you're incapable, but because you're leaving what's familiar. And here's the trap. Most people obey those emotions without questioning them. They mistake fear for a warning instead of recognizing it as a reaction. The result? Dreams stay trapped inside notebooks. Great ideas never become reality. Potential slowly turns into regret. The saddest part is that this cycle repeats so many times that it begins to feel normal. Every time you avoid discomfort, your brain learns one dangerous lesson. Avoidance keeps you safe, but safety and growth rarely live in the same place. Every meaningful achievement requires walking through uncertainty before confidence ever appears. Confidence isn't the starting point. It's the reward for taking action despite emotional resistance. Think about every person you've ever admired. They felt fear. They experienced doubt. They questioned themselves. The difference wasn't that they had fewer emotions. The difference was that they refused to let those emotions make their decisions. That changes everything. Because emotions are temporary, but decisions create permanent consequences. The moment you understand this, you stop asking, "How do I stop feeling fear?" Instead, you begin asking a far more powerful question. Can I make the right decision even while fear is sitting beside me? That single shift changes the game. You no longer wait to feel brave before taking action. You act first. Then, courage quietly catches up. But there's still one invisible enemy hiding beneath every emotional reaction. One force so subtle that most people never notice it, yet it quietly controls their behavior day after day. And until you learn how to master that hidden force, your emotions will always find a way to pull you back, no matter how motivated you feel today. Chapter 3. Training your mind to stay calm when everything falls apart. The greatest victories in life rarely belong to the strongest person in the room. They belong to the calmest. Anyone can make a good decision when life is easy. Anyone can feel confident when everything is going according to plan. But pressure has a strange way of exposing the habits hidden beneath the surface. When things fall apart, you don't rise to your hopes. You fall to your conditioning. That's why some people panic during uncertainty, while others seem almost unshakable. They aren't living in different worlds. They're responding with different minds. Here's the hidden force that quietly controls almost every reaction you have. Your habits. Not the habits everyone talks about, like waking up early or going to the gym. Mental habits. The automatic ways you interpret setbacks, criticism, failure, and uncertainty. These patterns are repeated so often that they become invisible. You stop noticing them because they begin to feel like part of your personality. Someone ignores your message. Your mind immediately assumes they don't respect you. A small mistake happens at work. Your thoughts jump straight to disaster. One setback appears. Suddenly you convince yourself nothing will ever change. None of these reactions happen because they're true. They happen because your brain has practiced them thousands of times. Every repeated thought becomes easier to think again. That's how mental conditioning works. And here's the good news. Anything that has been trained can be retrained. The first step isn't trying to think positive. It's learning to pause. That tiny space between what happens and how you respond is where real freedom begins. Imagine someone criticizes your work. Your old mind reacts instantly. Defend yourself, get angry, quit, prove them wrong. But a trained mind asks one simple question before reacting. What is actually true here? That single question interrupts the emotional storm before it takes control. Little by little, you stop reacting automatically and start responding intentionally. The same challenge that once destroyed your confidence becomes an opportunity to strengthen your discipline. The same failure that once convinced you to quit becomes feedback instead of a final verdict. This doesn't happen overnight. Just like physical strength is built one workout at a time, mental strength is built one decision at a time. Every moment you choose patience over panic, focus over distraction, curiosity over fear. You are quietly rewriting the way your mind operates. At first, no one else will notice. Your life may even look exactly the same. But beneath the surface, something extraordinary is happening. The person who once let emotions control every decision is slowly becoming someone who controls their emotions instead. And that changes far more than your mood. It changes your relationships, your career, your confidence, your future. Because life will always test you. Unexpected problems will appear. People will disappoint you. Plans will fail. The question is no longer whether pressure will come. The real question is this: when it arrives, will your mind become your greatest enemy or your greatest advantage? The answer depends on one final realization, a lesson so powerful that it separates people who spend their lives reacting from those who quietly shape their own destiny. And that's exactly where our journey leads next. Chapter 4. The day you stop reacting is the day you become unstoppable. There comes a moment in every person's life when they realize that the world isn't going to slow down for them. Problems won't stop arriving. People won't always understand you. Unexpected setbacks won't suddenly disappear. Life will continue to test your patience, your confidence, and your discipline. The question is no longer whether challenges will come. The question is who you'll become when they do. For most people, every difficult situation pulls the trigger on an automatic reaction. They blame, they complain, they panic. They let one bad moment convince them that everything is falling apart. Without realizing it, they hand control of their future to temporary emotions. But the people who create extraordinary lives make a different choice. They understand something that changes everything. You don't control every event. You control your response to every event. And that response becomes your identity. Imagine two people facing the exact same failure. One says, "This proves I'm not good enough." The other says, "This is showing me what I still need to learn." The failure is identical. The future is not, because the meaning you attach to an experience determines the direction your life takes next. This is why real strength isn't loud. It doesn't need to prove itself. It isn't built on never feeling fear, anger, disappointment, or uncertainty. Real strength is staying steady while those emotions are trying to pull you in every direction. It is choosing clarity over chaos, discipline over impulse, purpose over comfort. That choice may seem small in a single moment, but repeated over months and years, it creates a completely different life. One calm decision becomes a better habit. A better habit becomes stronger character. Stronger character becomes lasting success. This is how transformation really happens, not through one dramatic breakthrough, but through hundreds of quiet victories that nobody else ever sees. Every time you pause before reacting, every time you refuse to let fear make your decision, every time you replace excuses with responsibility, you become someone your past self would barely recognize. And the most incredible part is this: the outside world eventually catches up to the person you've already become on the inside. Opportunities begin to appear where you once saw obstacles. Pressure becomes a chance to grow instead of a reason to quit. Challenges become teachers instead of enemies. Nothing around you may change overnight. But because you have changed, everything begins to feel different. So the next time life tests you, don't ask, "Why is this happening to me?" Ask a better question. What is this moment trying to teach me? That single question can redirect an entire life, because the greatest victory isn't defeating other people. It isn't collecting money, titles, or applause. The greatest victory is mastering the one thing you'll carry with you every single day, your own mind. If this journey challenged the way you think, don't let it end here. Take one lesson from today and put it into action before the day is over. Then come back and share in the comments which mindset shift changed you the most. If you know someone who needs to hear this message, send it to them. You never know how one new perspective can change a life. And if you're ready to keep building a stronger mind, subscribe and join us for the next journey. Remember this: the day you stop letting your emotions control your choices is the day you stop surviving life and start creating it.